feel a force behind you when you're I mean, I know you have the skill, you've been working, but I mean, like a download like that, do you feel that? Not only do you feel it, like you acknowledge that it's something so much higher than
Yeah,
you?
we have to.
Yeah.
Have to. You know, I often think of the film composers. I mean, Gone with the Wind is now a very controversial movie for
Right.
certain reasons, but I think of the composer um, Steiner, who got a call to write a score in like 8 weeks,
Mhm.
and he came up with that melody.
Mhm.
When you think about what John Williams has to do, I mean, I met
Mhm.
him, he's a sweetheart of a man, but you know, when he had to do E.T.
Mhm.
in a very short period of time, and he got that melody out of him. So with this poetry, I had been familiar with it for a 20-year period. I hadn't looked at it every day, obviously, but I remember being taken with it. Now, I didn't use all of the poems
Right.
from
Right.
the book. I used selected ones. When you write words, I'm sorry, when you write music to words, you do what Aaron Copland spoke about. Aaron used to say that you try to find the melody in the poetry or in the words. Now,
Mhm.
Aaron was not a great vocal composer. He wasn't. He was an instrumental person. Lenny was the great, you could use, you know, of that era, was the great composer to set words. But if you look at Shakespeare, for example, other than the songs in Shakespeare, you look at, you know, To Be or Not to Be, that is the question,
Mhm.
or Macbeth, or any of the, you know, a lot of it can't be set. Why? There's too much music in Shakespeare, in the syllables.
Right. The
If you look at the
lyrical.
King James Bible, for example, and
Mhm.
that which was a contemporary piece, pretty much a little later than Shakespeare's life, but in that language, a lot of it can't be set because it's got so much
Mhm.
music in it already.
Mhm.
But there's some poetry that has no music in it,
Right.
and it can't be set either. It's too dry. It's somewhere in between. So the poems that I selected drove me to do this. Listen, there have been other pieces that have tried to deal with what happened. I'm very proud of the sense that I was able to accomplish this because I did something with distance from what happened.
Mhm.
You know, it's now a great number of years, 70 odd years. But the force, yeah, I mean, definitely. It's no different than writing a symphony or writing
Yeah.
a sonata. But here you have also a political element. I shouldn't say that, an element of great tragedy, which you had to deal with. But again, I chose movements with different intent. So
Yeah.
for example, one movement is Qui in questa terra in Italian, here in this earth. It's a partigiani song, canto. It's a song of partisans who are not taking any garbage, as it were. They are going into the forest, they're gathering weapons, and they're fighting back.
Mhm.
And the partisan in Qui in questa terra says, I'm so glad my mother was able to die in her village and didn't have to go through this, where my brothers and my father had perished.
Wow.
So I had to make a partigiano song, you know?
Right.
That's Qui in questa terra. Then I have a French movement, La prière du juif persécuté en français, which is the prayer of the persecuted Jew. It could be
Mhm.
persecuted anybody, but persecuted Jew. And it's written where this persecuted Jew is saying, I'm looking forward to a time where this doesn't exist. So what did I do? I wrote a cabaret song
Mm.
because I've spent a lot of wonderful time in
Right.
Paris, France,
Right.
and I understand that music and the music of the singers like Trenet and Chevalier and so forth. And I was able to draw on that knowledge to write this music, which is very different